What is the worst named book of the Bible? We'll find out today on Daily Prayer. Hello and welcome to Daily Prayer today. Glad that you are with me. We today are starting on the book of Numbers, part of the Jewish Torah, the third book of the what we would call the Old Testament. It's a long one, and it starts with a bunch of numbers. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but might not be the most riveting thing, but hey, we'll see what we can see. Let's go ahead and get started with our beatitude. Blessed are those who weep, for their tears will be wiped away. Join me in a prayer for awareness. Light, golden light, fresh from the source. Colors, creation's colors, calling our senses. Life, life in its oneness, all from you. You are the sun from whom the morning shines. You are the river in whom each life form flows, each face, each race, each cell within our ever-living soul. This new day, we greet you. Be still and aware in a centering breath prayer. Our reading today is Numbers chapter 1. Listen for God's word. The Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tent of meeting, on the first day of the second month, in the second year, after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Take a census of the whole congregation of Israelites, in their clans, by ancestral houses, according to the numbers of names, every male individually, from 20 years old and up, everyone in Israel able to go to war. You and Aaron shall enroll them, company by company. A man from each tribe shall be with you, each man the head of his ancestral house. These are the names of the men who shall assist you. From Reuben, Eliezer, son of Sheodir. From Simeon, Shelumiel, son of Zereshadai. From Judah, Nahshon, son of Amminadab. From Issachar, Nathaniel, son of Zuar. From Zebulun, Eliab, son of Helon. From the sons of Joseph, from Ephraim, Elishma, son of Ammihud. From Manasseh, Gamaliel, son of Pedahuzar. From Benjamin, Abidan, son of Gideoni. From Dan, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. From Asher, Pagiel, son of Ochran. From Gab, Eliseph, son of Deuel. From Naphtali, Ahira, son of Enan. These were the ones chosen from the congregation, the leaders of their ancestral tribes, the heads of the divisions of Israel. Moses and Aaron took these men who had been designated by name, and on the first day of the second month they assembled the whole congregation together. They registered themselves in their clans by their ancestral houses according to the number of names from 20 years old and up, individually. As the Lord had commanded Moses, so he enrolled them in the wilderness of Sinai. The descendants of Reuben, Israel's firstborn, their lineage, in their clans by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, individually, every male from 20 years old and up, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled in the tribe of Reuben were 46,500. The descendants of Simeon, their lineage in the clans by the ancestral houses, those of them who were numbered according to the number of names, individually every male from 20 years old and up, everyone able to go to war. These enrolled in the tribe of Simeon were 59,300. The descendants of Gad, their lineage, their clans by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, by 20 years old and up, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled in the tribe of Gad were 45,650. The descendants of Judah, their lineage, their clans, their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and up, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled in the tribe of Judah were 74,600. The descendants of Issachar, their lineage and their clans by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old up, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled in the tribes of Issachar were 54,400. Their descendants of Zebulun, their lineage, their clans, their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, and 20 years old and up, and everyone able to go to the war. Those enrolled in the tribe of Zebulun were 57,400. The descendants of Joseph, the descendants of Ephraim, their lineage, their clans, by ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and up, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled in the tribe of Ephraim were 40,500. The descendants of Manasseh, their lineage, their clans, their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and up, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled in the tribe of Manasseh were 32,200. The descendants of Benjamin, their lineage, their clans, by ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and up, and everyone able to go to the war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Benjamin were 35,400. The descendants of Dan, their lineage, their clans, by the ancestral houses, according to the number of names, they're from 20 years old and up, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Dan were 62,700. The descendants of Asher, their lineage, their clans, their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and up, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled in the tribe of Asher were 41,500. The descendants of Naphtali, their lineage and the clans there, by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and up, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Naphtali were 53,400. These are those who were enrolled from Moses and Aaron, enrolled with the help of the leaders of Israel, 12 men, each representing his ancestral house. So all those enrolled of the Israelites by their ancestral houses from 20 years old and up, everyone able to go to war in Israel, all those enrolled were 603,550. Oh, okay, yeah. The Levites, however, were not numbered by their ancestral tribe along with them. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Only the tribe of Levi you shall not enroll, and you shall not take a census of them with the other Israelites. Rather, you shall appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of the covenant, and over all its equipment, and over all that belongs to it. They are to carry the tabernacle and all its equipment, and they shall tend it, and shall camp around the tabernacle. When the tabernacle is set out, the Levites shall take it down. When the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up, and any outsider who comes near shall be put to death. The other Israelites shall camp in their respective regiment camps by companies. But the Levites shall camp around the tabernacle of the covenant, and there may be no wrath on the congregation of the Israelites, and the Levites shall perform the duties of the tabernacle of the covenant." The Israelites did so. They did just as the Lord commanded Moses. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. All right. So that was long and boring. I apologize. But we are working our way through this book of what we call Numbers. Now, the Hebrew name for this, you may know this, is the Wilderness, which is a much better name because it is about what happens to the Israelites while they're in the, you guessed it, wilderness. So where does this sit? We've had Genesis, sort of stories of patriarchs and how these tribes come together. This is all of these sort of tales of ancestors that are passed on and sort of fit together so they all make sort of sense. That ends with the 12 sons of Jacob in Egypt, not in the land that God had promised to Abraham. So then the beginning of Exodus, we find that these people 400 years later have been enslaved in Egypt, and they are released through the work of an escaped convict named Moses, who comes back, sees God in a burning bush and is told to go and liberate his people. He goes. It is a struggle, certainly. I think I've read over this on this channel, but I certainly have. We've gone through it in past daily prayers. Moses leads the people out. There's the plagues, there's all of that. There's Passover. There is crossing over the Red Sea. They wander in the land of sin for a little while, Sinai, until they come to the Mount of Sinai. There, God says, go ahead and prepare the people. I'm going to come down and tell them what is required of them. And God comes down and gives the 10 Commandments. And the people say, that's enough of that. Moses, why don't you go up on the mountain and get the rest of it? So he goes up on the mountain, spends 40 days receiving Torah, the law of God. But when he comes down, he finds that the people are basically breaking all 10 of the commandments. They have created an idol of God as a golden calf. They're cavorting and whatnot. So Moses calls his tribe, the Levites, slaughters people randomly and makes them drink dust made out of the idol. And then says, guess what, everybody? We're supposed to be holy. He goes back up on the mountain for 40 more days, says behave. They are able to, he's able to receive the law again because he had broken the first set of tablets on which the law was written on that golden calf. He comes back down, and now we're getting ready to, a lot of the instruction for that was about how to build this tabernacle, this place where God is going to be in the midst of these people. There's a brief moment that God says, you know what? These people suck. I don't want to deal with them anymore. And Moses says, no, these are your people. So God says, in the narrative, God says, here's what you build, a tent of meeting so that I can be with you in the midst of you. All right. Now we're about a year after those events. We're year 2, second month. So we've gone through Passover. And now we have the people, and now we're going to sort of start forming up. They're leaving now the area around Mount Sinai, and they're going to go and wander around. You may know that journey takes a very long time, and part of what we will see in this book is why does it take so bloody long, right? But it starts with a census. Now, the numbers here are completely inflated. They have nothing to do with actual reality. This is way too many people to have be brought out of Egypt. There's way too many people to be logistically traveling around. But there's some interesting things that we see. First of all, we see these sort of 12 tribes. One is sort of sectioned off the Levites. Now we'll get to a point recognizing that the Levites, and we get a little bit of it here, that they are instructed to sort of take care of the tabernacle. They're going to be the ones who are going to move it around, and they are going to be living immediately around the tabernacle. And part of what is being set up is this sort of theology of concentric circles, that all of the people are going to be represented before God by one tribe. The 12 tribes are going to be represented by one tribe, the Levites. Of the Levites, some are going to be called as priests who are going to represent the rest of their tribe. Of the priests, there is a select few that are called to be high priests who are to represent the rest of the priests before God. And all of these tribes ultimately are to represent all of humanity before God. And so that is sort of actualized by where they set up their tents. They're going to be immediately around the temple, this place where God's very presence is going to be in the center of all of these other people as they are around. A couple other things. We have that, let me see, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right. So there are 12 tribes, not including Levi, because we have Ephraim and Manasseh. These are the twin tribes of Joseph. So when we hear these sort of an illumination of these 12 tribes, we will often not hear about the tribe of Joseph, but the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. Back in Genesis, these are the sons of Joseph that he has while he's in Egypt, while he's enslaved and becomes this sort of, actually, it's not when he's enslaved, it's when he is sort of high up in the Egyptian government. And Jacob blesses them, primarily the younger one over the older one, and basically claims them as his own children. And so they are sort of considered to be on the same level as the other tribes. The other major thing that you probably had noticed is all of this counting is males who are above the age of 20, anyone who can go to war. There's definitely a military overtone to especially this counting. Now we'll see where that goes and how that kind of works, but partially it is, I think, a cultural expectation. This is how you count people. Nations count how many people can fight. Part of that is a denigration and sort of misogyny that women are not considered to be as valuable as men. That's part of it. Part of it may also be practical, that we're not going to, it's really tough to count this many people, especially if it's this many people, which again is probably not. But you cut that down by about half, if not less, if you're just having to count the men. But there is definitely this martial aspect to this. They are counting themselves as an army. And that's definitely going to have some overtones and some implications. So the point of this book, the point of this scroll, is to tell the story of what happens to these people who have now received law to a certain extent. They are now going to be released off into the wilderness. We've had Leviticus as well. So we read over that a little while ago as well. So we have the all of the information, not only about the tabernacle, but also all of the Levitical rules. What does it mean to be clean or unclean? What are the things that are counted as ritually unclean and not? How do you get ritually clean if you've been made unclean? All of those sorts of things. Now we're going to see what happens to these people as they travel around. Spoiler alert, it's not great, right? They're not the best at following these rules, and there are implications of it, which is very helpful for us because we as groups of people tend to be much more stupid than we are individually. We make mistakes collectively as well as individually. And to see how this sort of journey, this story unfolds can help us as we seek to be together with one another. So I invite you onto this journey with the Israelites in the wilderness, or the Hebrews in the wilderness. And and I promise it's not all lists of numbers, though there's some of that. So I invite you to take some time to consider, to pray, to meditate, to journal, to consider have you ever read much from the book of Numbers? The answer likely is no. It's not a well-loved book, that's for sure. And partially because of this first chapter. Maybe you've made it all the way through Leviticus and then you read an entire chapter of Numbers, literal just Numbers, And you're like, Snoozeville, what's next? But I invite you onto this journey. When you're ready, we'll join our hearts together in prayer. Join in a prayer for the life of the world. For the freshness of this new day, thanks be to you, O God. For morning's gift of clarity, its light like the first day's dawn, thanks be to you. In this newborn light, let us see afresh. In this gateway onto what has never been before, let our soul breathe hope. For the earth, for the creatures, for the human family, let our soul breathe hope. Join in silent prayers for peace. Join in a prayer of blessing. On this day, the blessings of heaven. On this day, the blessings of earth. On this day, the blessings of sea and sky. To open us to life, to ground us in life, to fill us in life, to fill us with life and with wonder. On those we love this day and on every human family, the blessings of heaven, the blessings of earth, the blessings of sea and sky. Thank you so much for joining me today for Daily Prayer. Join me tomorrow for some more. Like this video, share it with someone else. Click on the subscription and the notification button. Go to our website, standrewspc.com for more information. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. If you happen to be watching on the day this comes out, it is Adopt a Shelter Pet Day, Bugs Bunny Day, Day of the Child, Hairstyle Appreciation Day, International Jazz Day, National Animal Advocacy Day, National Bubble Tea Day, National Honesty Day, National Military Brats Day, National Mr. Potato Head Day, National Oatmeal Cookie Day, National Prepare-a-thon Day, National Raisin Day, National Sarcoidosis Day, Spank Out Day, and Thank You Thursday. Our liturgy today came from Praying with the Earth by Prayer Book for Peace by John Philip Newell, and our reading came from the New Revised Standard Version, Updated Edition. You can watch on YouTube, listen on podcasts, and do both on Substack. Thanks for joining me. Have a blessed day. We'll see you next time.